You can hear this. You are not alone. This is the resistance.
Well then, that was very un-American of me, wasn't it? It's okay though, I'm Canadian. It's a natural order of things. I'm supposed to be like that. If I wasn't like that, I'd have your flag. It's one of the few things that separate Canada from the United States. Did you honestly think that Trump and Moab and all that nonsense was the only thing I had in my sights? Well, that's the only thing that gets people's attention. Attack the United States president with your words and see what happens. But, raw deal is, this morning I decided I'm going to wake up. A good idea to get out of bed. I'm going to read me some articles. Came across this interesting article. Something Justin Trudeau decided to say. Not too long ago, come to think of it. If I'm not mistaken, it was something to do with Israeli Independence Day over there. Okay, cool. So, the state of Israel, not the country of Israel, the state of Israel had a party. And somewhere along the line, how Canadians felt about it mattered. Okay, well, you probably don't have enough beer. Okay? There you go. That's what we should care about. But it turns out that he takes this day for the Israelis and states that he is against any form of anti-Semitism. I was almost sure the better part of the Western Hemisphere was pretty well okay with not being an anti-Semite. I think we kind of grasped that don't hate somebody due to their religion and their religion alone. But then he came out with another one. Kind of put all this shit into nice little brackets for everybody, right? Problem is that this topic, I'm going to beat this like it's a dead fucking horse. The truth is I'm probably going to be one of the very few that ever do. He stated that he was against that the leader of my great country that houses a great population of amazing, loving people, stated that he is against any form of anti-Zionism. My head exploded. The way that this stuff is being written and all that nonsense is making it seem, just like I said a long time ago, that anti-Zionism is being equated with anti-Semitism as in being one and the same. This isn't true. The reason why this isn't true is so prevalent that it's disgusting. Anti-Semitism is to hate the Semitic people. That has nothing to do with Jewish fucking people. No. That was a lie. Anti-Semitism does not mean you hate Jews. It means you hate people of old and ancient civilizations. Shit. Come to think of it, I'd almost go to say that the African Americans, the black people, are closer to being Semites than these Israeli people. But that's not enough. Zionism is a political movement that is no more than 200 years old. So it has nothing to do with Jewish people. It has nothing to do with anti-Semitism. Do you know where Zionism freaking came from? When you read the Torah, it says the Jews shall have no land. Zionist has a problem with that. Zionist wants his land. Not my fault. You really shouldn't have pissed off your own God. Has nothing to do with Christians. Has absolutely fucking nothing to do with Muslims. You pissed off your own God, and your own God said, fuck you. What more do you want me to tell you? Your God told you to go fuck off somewhere. Wasn't my God that told you couldn't have a land. Wasn't the Muslim God that told you couldn't have a land. It's written in the freaking Torah. That's your God that said that shit, not mine. So stop looking for a fucking land and calling yourself Jewish all at the same time. You can't do that shit. You're dumb. You're just dumb. It's okay, we'll live with it. We have to live with a bunch of other stupid fucking safe space loving pieces of shit anyway, so you're just dumb. And that's okay. We will have to live with this pain. But you can't be Jewish and demanding your own land all in the same fucking sentence. It's just, the shit doesn't compute. There's Jews all over the world telling us that this shit doesn't compute. That you cannot be Jewish and declare that you have your own land. And just to throw it just this much more in your face, not only did your God tell you to fuck off, you can't have your own land, your God told you that if my ignorant ass wanted to give you a piece of land, you have to say no. So don't get mad at the Muslims that are your neighbors. Don't get pissed off at Christians because we're not putting up with your shit anymore. You're bombing schools and fucking hospitals. We don't care about your stupid little fucking Independence Day. Oh, but we're going after the terrorists. The terrorists have no army. They have no army. Like, for fuck's sakes, people. I'm going to come back with some more. I just got to let my head relax here. Religious precedents set very clearly states in your own religious texts that you can't have a land. Plain and simple. It was us. It's our fault this is happening. Okay? When Adolf Hitler went to war in Germany and then well, actually no, I have to make sure that I put that historically in the right order. When the Zionists of the world declared war on Germany and did an international boycott of German goods, as previously mentioned in other videos, that became to be a problem. So, he went to war. Everybody says he went to war against the Jews. I wonder, in the history, in the future, if they're going to say that the United States went to war to eradicate Muslims, or if the United States went to war to eradicate Muslim extremisms, a bunch of religious nutcases, for lack of a better explanation. Now, if we were to say with dignity that the United States of America, one of the largest, most powerful militaries in the world, declared war on Muslim extremisms and not the religion as a whole as Muslims, I offer you the same argument for Adolf Hitler. That Adolf Hitler did not ethnically cleanse his country to eradicate Jewish people. He began to ethnically cleanse his country to eradicate Zionists. It's important to understand what a Zionist is. Otherwise, you just look like some Hitler, Nazi, goose-stepping, fucking want to shave my head and look like I'm confused. So you have to know what Zionism is. It's very important. It's fucking hugely important, especially right now, because there's a quote out there that Hitler kind of released to the world. Not very many people know about it. It's surprising how many people don't know about it. You're going to go and you're going to pin the losses of World War I on Germany. They just finished paying their reparations in 2012. You're going to go and pin the losses of World War II on Germany. I don't even care if they pay that shit. Germany, don't pay it. Germany, don't pay reparations for World War II. The shit never fucking ended. You can't pay reparations for a war that never ended. You fucking ignorant pieces of shit. So no, Germany, stop paying your World War II reparations. Stop it. That's all you need to do, is just stop paying reparations for World War II. You can't pay reparations for World War II because the fucking thing's not over yet. Oh no, it's going to be World War III now. How can you add a sequel to a movie that isn't finished? I thought World War III was going to be a huge, huge, catastrophic war. Honest to God, I thought World War III would have nothing to do with religion. Doesn't seem to be the case. Unless the Second World War isn't done yet. And the Third World War, we'd have to place it about 200 years in the future. Because there's a period of peace that follows these great global conflicts. So, So what is Israel? That little place there out in the Middle East, middle of the desert. Okay, what is it? Okay, well, we went to war against Hitler. We couldn't even kill that guy. He ended up killing himself. So what did we do? We picked up his problem, quote unquote, the Jewish problem, the Zionist fucking catastrophe is what it really should be called. It should not be called Hitler's Jewish problem. It should be called the Zionist catastrophe that Hitler tried to deal with. Because this is all this spew about what Hitler did, and all that comes to one little fucking quote. Although World War II may end and come to a close, Hitler knew that it would be him that started World War III. He knew. Adolf Hitler himself knew that he would start World War III. And he finishes that quote with a little bit of fucking information as to why. You ready? You ready for it? Yep. Once the world begins to understand what my true enemy really was, World War III shall erupt in my name overnight. That's power. That's a powerful fucking statement. You're telling me that one of the greatest dictators of the world, the purest of purest evils available, told us what was going to be the grounds of World War III. There's another individual that we like to label as the purest evil of all kind, Albert Pike of the Confederation of the United States, listed apparently the 3 world wars. Whether or not this is true or false, what is written under World War III is almost all but happened. So, what the fuck, people? Seriously. Y'all goose-stepped into Germany. Y'all fucking put the boots to fucking Germany like they raped your daughter. And you did it for a bunch of fucking pedophiles. That's what you did it for. You didn't do it for the Jewish people. You want to do something for the Jewish people? You never should have turned the fucking boats around when they were doing the refugees. That's what you should have never have done. Oh, and let's start about refugees. Remember back in the day? No Jews were too many Jews to take on. Well, that was a harsh fucking rhetoric to be peddling. Wonder why that was peddled like that. So now you bring in 40,000 fucking Muslims that leave that part of the world to come here for safety. And then you tell the country we can't be anti-Zionist? Sounding a whole lot like you don't want our refugees to talk about the fucking war. That's what it's sounding like. I want to leave that little piece with you guys, and then we'll worry about the rest.
Hello, YouTube Universe. This is good old Grandmaster Revan. Are you looking for daily, unbiased political videos? Come check out my channel at youtube.com/GrandmasterRevan, or you can find me in the featured activist section on the Worldwide Resistant Networks channel at youtube.com/Resistance2058. Remember, knowledge is free.
Alright, so let us take a few minutes to get into the meat of the issue. The rest, as I so elegantly put it in my other 2 videos. There's a lot behind this anti-Zionist claim that Justin Trudeau has put forward for Canada, and a lot of it doesn't settle well with me, and I can't cover each and every piece of it. It's too anti-Zionist. I will legitimately be charged. Okay? I can only tell you what to research. By researching what I say to research, you'll find a different view. Put both views side by side. Don't take my word for it. Never, ever, ever, ever take my word for it. Okay? Always, always research what I'm saying. And if you find out that I'm wrong, you make sure to tell my ass. Alright. So why do I not like this anti-Zionist nonsense? Well, we took, as I said, a shitload of refugees, like 40,000, maybe a little less. The numbers may be a little bit smaller than I'd like them to be, but it's well within the thousands and the multiples of thousands. like the 10s and 20s and 30s and 40s of thousands of refugees. So, is it fair to say that these people are human beings? Yes. Is it fair to say that these human beings, regardless of the God that they should so choose to pray to, saw some really awful shit? Yeah. These are honest statements. Is it fair to say that these children have seen very awful things? Absolutely. So, what does this country offer that could actually help these people? We're not the richest nation in the world. Resource-wise, we are, but we don't have a whole lot of money. We're not worried about that. They don't seem to be worried about that either. So that's not it. That part of the world had doctors and lawyers and engineers and so on and so forth. So I'm not prepared to say that it's education that they're seeking in Canada. Asylum and security, that's the given because it's a war-torn area. But why choose here instead of the Great Meridian of other countries in the world? We do have free healthcare. Is it fair to say that a bunch of shell-shocked people could use a little healthcare? I believe that's fair. So let's say that some of this literally finds itself in the realm of the psychiatric. That's also a fair statement. Now you're going to get a bunch of people saying, they're all fucking kooks, lock them up anyway, just make another asylum just for them. No, that's called a concentration camp. I'm not doing that. But there's a fair group of people that may very well need to seek psychiatric help. This is an honest statement. What's the first thing that the doctor tells you? You know, well, you should share your emotions and your feelings and your fears and your loves and your hates and everything with your friends and family so that they may understand the burden that you're carrying. Regardless of whether or not you believe in psychiatric medicine or not, is a moot point in the direction that I'm going. Whether or not you think psych meds work or don't work or talk therapy works or doesn't work, absolutely moot to the point that I'm going towards. Because the point that I'm going towards is what happens after these refugees begin to speak of the war to their therapists. And then, of course, they're told to air their feelings with their friends and family. You guys have to realize that these guys are Muslims that were heavily persecuted by the Jews. So, that's not really cool, now is it? It wasn't cool when Adolf Hitler and the Nazis persecuted the Jews, but it's okay for the Jews to persecute the Muslims. Oh, that's such a broad stance. Okay, all right, cool. So it wasn't okay for Adolf Hitler to annihilate Zionists, but it's okay for the Zionists to annihilate Islam. Was that a little less hardcore for you there? Is that a little bit more on the point? Not so broad? Okay. Just making sure that we all understand each other here. So, what we're seeing here is the pig known as Zionist Israel is truly suffering from beaten child syndrome. Meaning, when you take a child, you beat the shit out of it, and it grows up, there's a strong possibility it's going to beat the shit out of its children. Maybe not. It's told that the cycle breaks. But apparently, with Israel, the cycle has not broken. If it was wrong for German, it's wrong for Israel. We can't be fucking saying yes to one and no to the other. That would be a form of hypocrisy. So what happens when these Syrian Muslim refugees begin speaking in a manner that is anti-Zionist because they don't fucking like what Israel did to their people? Very, basic feeling. I don't know. I watched my school blow up with all my friends in it, and I know that it was an Israeli that did it. Kind of upsetting. I could see where this person is going with this line of thought. But that's anti-Zionist. So what happens to these 40,000 fucking refugees that begin to speak, and their speech begins to be against the law? What, is Canada going to start treating the Muslim refugees the same way the United States treats the black man? As long as they're not white, we can stick them in jail and nobody will complain. I just need to write the fucking law to do it. Don't get me wrong, a Canadian jail is still better than a fucking war field in Syria. And I'm sure that's the logic being used by our government right now. Even if I put them in a jail cell, they're still better off than what they were. That's not freedom. That's not what they came here for. You know what they came here for? They came here to be able to pray towards the fucking sun 5 times a day and be left the fuck alone. I didn't see very many terrorist activities in Canada. Ah, there's that one dude that ran up with a shotgun, but seriously, I could have done that just as quick as anybody else. I didn't like Harper. Could have been a white Canadian that did it just as fast. Wouldn't have mattered. Fuck, could have been a black Canadian. What were you going to do then? Just put it under the fucking rug? No, buddy joined Islam, so it's obviously a terrorist act. No, you know, he just grew a pair. That's all he did. He grew a pair. He fucking did what most of us think. And he did it. None of us want to go to jail for the rest of our lives. I'm too fucking old for this shit. But when the war starts, I'm going to take out as many as I can before I die. This isn't a game, guys. This is a way of life. To treat people with dignity, people you don't know. Don't matter what color they are, what religion they are, what language they speak. You have to treat people with dignity. But here I am, in my little fucking city where I live. I do the very best that I can with what I have. And I'm not the perfect person in the world. And some people in my life are pieces of shit. And I make sure they know they're pieces of shit. But you know what? That's what it is. That's what it means to be free, to speak your mind without fear of persecution. It's what I'm doing right now. Although I won't lie, there's a small fear of persecution stuck in the back of my brain. Because I know about the case law known as Ernst Zundel. What happened with him. He's a World War II revisionist. He went to fucking jail for Holocaust denial. Okay? He didn't deny the Holocaust happened. He merely said, can we open the books? It's been a while. I'd like to reread this shit. But we can't do that in this country. Extremely important. Extremely important to realize what you can and cannot do in a free society. Don't get me wrong, you really shouldn't go around killing people. That's bad. You know, probably shouldn't go around raping and molesting fucking children. But if the Zionists had it their way, that's okay. But don't worry, we got you covered. Okay? As long as how does it go again? How does the Talmud say it? As long as the rape is of an unnatural substance, it's well within the boundaries of the law. So I'm assuming unnatural substance means probably sodomy or something of that nature. But anyway, did you guys see how fucking disgustingly twisted this book is, this Talmud book? But weren't you guys all told that that's what Muslims believed? Oh, that was upsetting, wasn't it? See, stop listening to what people fucking tell you and pick up the books and read them. I'll tell you something interesting. The Christians tell you to turn the other cheek. That's one nice little passage. I like that idea. It makes you rethink your shit. The Torah says they don't get a land. Okay, that's a cool little passage. Alright. The Quran. Oh shit, the Quran knew so much about science and astrology long before its time. It's hard to actually like delve into it. But if you actually find it, there's verses in the Quran that will actually explain the entire embryonic development of a human being from literally sperm, egg to child. Like, all of it. Long before microscopes existed. It tell you a bunch of shit about the stars long before telescopes existed. That's an interesting book. The Talmud says you can rape a child under the age of 3 and her hymen will grow back. If the rape is done of an unnatural order, it's outside the boundaries of natural law. What else can I give you? Oh, yeah. So, me, being a Gentile, the Gentile that I am, which is I am not Jewish. I'm not Torah-reading Jewish, and I'm not Talmudic-reading Jewish. But I am referred to as a Gentile, or a Goy. Just depends who you're asking, really. So, me, if I'm walking in the state of Israel, I drop my wallet, and an Israeli picks that wallet up and returns it to a Gentile, did you know that he broke Talmudic law? He could actually probably receive some sort of repercussions for doing so if he was reported. Talmudic law is very interesting, and it's hard to explain to people, but like, this is what we fought for. I talked about the Zionist catastrophe, right? I touched it very, very slightly, but the catastrophe was this. It was our fault. We picked up the Zionist catastrophe, and we dropped it in the middle of the goddamn desert, and we said, fuck it. Who cares? Bunch of uncivilized ragheads down there anyway. Who cares? We were just as fucking racist as Adolf Hitler himself, if not more. The Jewish people, okay? Or no, I almost did a big fuck up there. Not the Jewish people. Because the original Jews, from what I understand, they're the African Americans. Yeah, Pharaoh, let my people go, walk my ass out of fucking Egypt just to get my ass stuck back in slavery on the North American continent. That's a very probable story. Now, the Khazarian Jews of the times, those Jews. I'd be very careful now how I talk about certain aspects of a religion. But yeah, I'll have to get back to you guys on this one. It's crazy.
I want to talk a little bit about how America is becoming a modern-day Sodom and Gomorrah in some aspects. We are losing our morals and ethics in the United States. If you tune into the History Channel, they got Larry the Cable Guy telling penis and fart jokes to Cub Scouts. If you tune into Discovery Channel, they're teaching your children how we originated from aquatic mermaids. I didn't tune in to Fox News to hear about Kim Kardashian's ass cheek implants. There is a Beavis and Butthead mentality going about in this country, and it's contagious.
So, Mr. Giggles, what are you doing today?
This is Slimer! Pig juice! Tin Man's cup! And Lucid's cup! And this is Jesus! No! Ah, wait, he likes crosses. What am I doing?
And we're back. So I was touching on Khazarian Judaism. Khazarian Judaism is always interesting when you start delving into that history, because it's the history of Khazar that's the most important. You have to study what kind of people Khazarians were. Once you figure that part out, you realize that they were about to be annexed. Something they shared, with the narrative of Hitler going after the Jews. Well, Khazars were damn near exterminated. Very, very significant reason for it as you do the studies. What happened here is the Khazars, in a last stint to save themselves, they began to convert to religions, and the religion that these particular people chose was Judaism. Now these people, they hijacked the religion known as Judaism. They're not real Jews. Stop getting so fucking offended. Moving right along. The Khazars actually converted to Judaism. Later in the history, find the book Talmud. It was the oral Torah, apparently. These people are so fucking sick and disgusting that they legitimately declare that this oral Torah are the oral commandments given to Moses by the Almighty. So, when you read this book and you figure out what's in it, you gotta remember that God said it was okay. Really? God said it was okay to rape a 3-year-old child. A child 1 day less than 3 years old. If she's 3 years old, she's too old. God said that was okay. Okay. Wow. really starting to figure out why Jesus wanted to kill you guys. Jesus didn't want to kill nobody. He was a peaceful man. Really? Really? Jesus wasn't a peaceful man when he chased the money lenders out of the temple with the fucking whip, you dumbass. It's not the actions of a peaceful person. So, if you read what Jesus felt about these people, you need to know who these people are within your religious text. We change words, we change names, we hide people. This is what we do. This is the human thing, and it's really fucking stupid. The aliens are still trying to figure it out. Okay? Raw deal is Pharisees. The Pharisees that were responsible for killing Christ are the exact same lineage of people, the exact same ideological of people that exist and that we call Zionists. Pharisees killed Christ. That's important. I don't care about the fucking mumbo jumbo, hocus pocus, religious, don't insult my God. Fuck you. I don't care about any of that. Jesus was a tree-hugging hippie at the height of the Roman Empire. Don't ask me why they killed him. It's very fucking prevalent why they killed him when he said, return to Caesar what is Caesar's. If I started telling you to actually bring your money back to the bank and say, fuck you, I don't need your money, I'll find a way to survive without it, and all of you actually started to do it, my ass would be grass. Raw deal. You don't play with the game don't control you. You put the Monopoly board away, the Monopoly money don't fucking affect you, does it? Take this money that we use and you put it the fuck away, give it back to the bankers. These bankers can't circulate this money because it's useless because you don't want it. The game crumbles. Don't steal from people. Don't not pay your taxes. Do exactly what Jesus said to do. Give the money back. I don't want to fucking play this game anymore. Oh, that's a dangerous thought now, isn't it? Starting to realize why they killed this free-thinking hippie at the height of the Roman Empire, one of the biggest control structures the world had yet to see at that time. They couldn't handle one Jesus. One, as I've said before, was too fucking many. So they killed him. But they acted before they thought. They didn't realize the actual power that they were killing. I'm not talking about, oh, the Son of God. That's what I'm talking about. That man tapped into something. That man tapped into something very, very important. Yeah, he taught faith healing, placebo healing. Jesus never walked around and told people that if I touch you, yeah, you're going to be fixed, man. I got your back, watch this. Bang, you're good. No. No. Everybody thought something about him. Nobody said it. They all thought that he was the Son of God, the Messiah that was sent to save them. They all thought that. He never declared it. But because of that, because so many people thought that he truly was the Messiah sent by God, the Son of God, as prophesied for in the book. Because they thought this, faith grew. The power of faith is an impressive thing. You got a disease? No problem. Here's a cure. You're fine. Go away. Little did you know it's a double blind and you got a fucking sugar pill. But you're healed, aren't you? Now, don't get me wrong. There's some diseases out there that'll fuck your shit up, and no amount of sugar cubes is going to save you. That's not my point. My point is that it's very clearly written that if he says to people, if you have faith, you will be healed. If you honestly believe this is medicine, it's going to fix you. It will. The science is there to prove it. It's already there. Okay? He taught faith healing. He taught placebo medicine. He taught living outside of a control structure ran by money. These principles are entirely too powerful to leave in the common man's hands. This shit's more powerful than a nuclear weapon. What happens when the guy that has to push the button says no? Why? Because Jesus wouldn't do it. What happens then? They couldn't handle one. And now they have billions of Christian people in the world. And if y'all Christians were actually Christians, you'd be fine. This shit would be easy as pie to go through. Okay? Don't forget there. Jesus was called a drunkard by religious men. Don't forget that either, eh? We don't even serve wine at church anymore. Why? I don't know. Because even he knew. You get a good buzz on, you start talking about some really fucking awesome shit. He knew that then. Loosens the tongue. Start entertaining thoughts. Start hearing your buddy's crazy ideas. You're like, holy fuck, man, I had an idea like that too, but I never thought of doing it that way. Shit, if we did it that way, it might actually work. He knew these things. That's why they killed the man. But it was only about 300 years later. The Council of Nicaea came around and said, damn, we fucked up. We should have kept religious people very strongly paid, very wealthy, so that we could have manipulated them. In order to do politicians and church, consolidate the power, control the masses. And they did that. Yeah, do you want to know what the first form of population control was? See, we got all these condoms and contraceptives and all this nonsense, right? It's great stuff. It's great stuff. Population control, it works, whatever. Fuck it. But, you know what the first form was? All those good, God-fearing men. Good men. Good men and good women found within the church. Not allowed to breed. You fucking kidding me? I work with animals, okay? When we work with aggressive animals, we tend to try to breed that trait out. That's what we try to do. Sorry, sucks. But that's what we do. If you're an overly aggressive animal, guess what? You don't get to breed. I'll feed you, I will fucking make sure you don't die, and you will live out your life, but you can't be part of my breeding program because I can't have an animal trying to kill people. So, could I take this basic law of eugenics and apply it to humans in any way, shape, or form? If I took good, faith-bearing, peaceful people who managed to get a control on their temper and managed to live good, healthy, sane lives, and I bred these two motherfuckers together, could I get a child that's similar in behavior? I'm not going to say the child won't grow up and snap and shoot up at school. I'm just saying that it's worth a fair shot. And yet, what did we do? God, we're an intelligent fucking race, aren't we? We took the best, or apparently the best, of the fucking world, the good, God-fearing men and women, and we said, you get to stay sexually frustrated for the rest of your life. And then you wonder why they can't keep their hands off the kids? Oh yeah, it's sick, and I shouldn't laugh about it. Merely understanding where the fucking symptoms come from is a huge thing. Maybe if these people were allowed to fucking marry and have children and bring them forward into the world, we might see a better place in the world. I can't guarantee it, but it's an awesome step to try, and why not? Everybody likes sex anyway. Let them have fun for a bit. Come on now. Acting all foolish. So what did we do instead? What did we do instead? We went into a country, we destroyed that country, we took the most aggressive people from that country, we placed them in the desert, and we watched them start wars with every country beside them. And no, we never said that maybe it was that country's problem, and maybe that they really shouldn't be throwing rocks in a sandcastle, and that they should really calm down. No, we didn't do that. What did we do? We sent the most powerful military in the world across the goddamn oceans, and we bombed a bunch of shit, and we get to pat ourselves on the back and say, good job. No. Horrible fucking job. Horrible job. It's like I said in one of my previous videos, Moab, That had nothing to do with terrorists. It had nothing to do with the war. It had everything to do with hiding a bunch of really important shit. That's why they use the biggest bomb available. They destroy an entire bunker system inside a goddamn mountain in Afghanistan. Takes a little bit of firepower to pull that off. So now, stuck with the Khazarian Jews. That's what we're stuck with. We're stuck with the fake Jews walking the world, walking the face of the earth. And right now, I don't know. Are we there? Are we in the biblical part where they say the fake Jews rule the world? Or are we at the part where the fake Jews gain control of the world? I don't know what part of the fucking war history I'm living in right now. Do they already rule it and run it? Or, if we're not careful, they're about to take it from underneath our fucking noses. I don't know. All I know is that the second you so much as suggest a law that says that I can't tell you you're a piece of shit, then I begin to worry. Because I don't care. After 9/11, we were all free to say fucking bomb those ragheads and hang them by the short and squirrelies. We were allowed to say that every day of our lives if we wanted to. Do you think we stopped saying anti-German jokes because we thought that it might offend a fucking German? Back in World War II? If we would not have survived World War II. If we fought World War II with these pussy, pansy-ass tactics that we're using right now, I'd be in the Stone Age not yelling at a goddamn computer screen. Like, seriously. If we approach that war with the way with our safe space seeking, pansy, social justice warrior pieces of shit that we have right now, oh my God. Oh my God. Hitler would have said, well, you want a safe space? I got one over here for you. Look, it's got running water and showers. He'd have put an end to that real fun quick, wouldn't he? We got no men left. We got no men left. The men that were left are trying to be women, and the women that are here are trying to be men, and now we're all fucking confused now, aren't we? It's in the water, by the way. That's what's happening. It's not a choice, you moron. The data's coming out. There's a fucking lake in the United States contaminated with over 52 different toxins, ranging from as harmless as Advil all the way up to fucking sexual orientation changing drugs. Your fucking water supply. And you know what else the scientists found out? When they studied the fish in that lake, most of the fish in that lake that were male were turning female. It's in the water. We're done. The weapon has already been used on us. It's a good cover, though. Bruce Jenner being the transgender and all this, creating the hype, and now everybody wanted to fucking be one. Everybody traces it back to that. So I asked a few people, where did all this start? I remember odds and ends here and there. The first time I saw someone that was like that was way the fuck out in Ontario. Okay, cool. I knew it existed, and I knew that the numbers were quite minute, but I wasn't an idiot either. I knew that there was people in the closet that didn't come out because it wasn't socially acceptable. But the numbers that we're seeing just blatantly coming out is more than just a generation of people hiding. Okay? And seriously, that's horrible. That's horrible, man. That's fucking horrible. They're victims, man. They're victims. Anybody who didn't have the je ne sais fucking quoi to fight that stuff in their system and just be like, nope, I was born that way. We're good. I'm going to keep this here. I'm kind of fucking attached to it. I named it and all. Those who had whatever it took to survive that poisoning That's what we have left. There's your military. There it is, right there. If another country is looking in at us and counting how many military-aged men do we have, I don't know and they don't know because half y'all are wearing fucking dresses now. I think it's fair to say that their weapon worked. Oh, you think I'm full of shit? You think I'm bullshitting you on this? Research it. Said it from the beginning. Never trust what I tell you. Never trust what I tell you. Look into it. When you find it, oh, you're going to be pissed. You're going to be a different kind of upset because when you know it's in the water, you can't fix it. You can't fix it now. Guess what else? Fukushima? Yeah, that's one ocean that's gone. Can't eat what's coming out of it. BP oil spill? Yeah, that wasn't in the same ocean, dumbass. That's another ocean that's gone that we won't be able to eat out of. Did you guys ever think when you start reading it? Remember that book I told you, Revelations, real small? Fucking read that shit. Remember that book? Yeah, well, there's a small little section in that book. It says, how does it go? 1/3 of the Earth's oceans will die. That's a horrible fucking notion to believe. But look, they're dying right now. They ain't dead yet, but they're dying. And they will die. There's nothing we, as a piddly-ass fucking human being, can do to stop that. Inland lakes, well, you already know what one of them is full of. God knows how many more are like that, considering every filtration system in the North American hemisphere cannot filter out pharmaceuticals from your actual drinking water. Forget the fucking fracking and the shit lighting on fire. That's one thing. But the truth is, you're not gonna drink that. You already know that's a bad fucking idea. But the other water that's not lighting on fire, well, must be safe. I passed it through the filtration system. I did a water test. It's good. Did you do a pharmaceutical test on your water? Do you know how many drugs you're drinking? And it's not like the government is poisoning the water system. I don't want you to believe that the government did this. No, we, unfortunately, did all this bullshit to ourselves. Ladies, yeah, stop flushing your birth control. It's a lot of estrogen finding its way into the fucking drinking water. They've already said they can't filter it out. It's good. You know, it's decent. Psych patients, for the love of Christ, don't flush that shit anymore. Please, stop. That's the... You know, next thing I need is a fucking confused individual that is hopped up on a bunch of fucking antipsychotics that they shouldn't be on. It's a horrible thought. But it's true. It's happening. I'm going to leave that with you guys, man. That's all I have for right now. That's like 4 fucking videos. Peace.